Hey, what is going on guys? My name is Gamertag and I'm back for your daily Fortnite video. Today's video I'll be sharing with you guys how to get stretch resolution on console Fortnite. This is going to be Xbox One as well as PlayStation 4. If you guys are going to enjoy the video or find it helpful, I would appreciate a like down below. On the contrary, if you genuinely dislike today's video, feel free to leave a dislike. I would also appreciate a comment letting me know what I can improve on for future videos to make them more enjoyable for you. And if you're new around here and would like to be notified whenever I come out with more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, feel free to subscribe as well as turn on post notifications. With that out of the way, let's hop right into today's video. As I mentioned, I'll be sharing with you guys how to get stretch resolution on console. I've made a video, actually two rather, on my channel discussing this. A lot of people had a lot of questions and there's a lot of confusion left in the air about stretch resolution on console. People were kind of curious and skeptical about it because my Elgato wasn't able to capture the resolution. So in today's video I'll be clearing up the confusion and hopefully coloring in any gray area about this topic, and I'll also be providing proof that this does in fact work, as I used my iPhone to actually record my screen, as once again my Elgato, which is what I use to record my gameplay, wasn't able, or is not able rather, to capture this form of resolution. So that is the purpose of today's video. I'd also like to preface, as I find it important, that stretch resolution on console, although has its pros and benefits to it, doesn't necessarily share all the same benefits that PC stretch resolution has. Also, a lot of people were kind of curious, as Fortnite pretty much limited stretch resolution on PC. They were wondering if this is going to work still, and yes, it does. Now I'm going to be showing you guys how to do this. I'll then be discussing some of the confusion and skepticism of it, and also while I'm showing you guys how to do it, I'll provide proof that it works. So we're not going to switch over to my iPhone camera, as again my Elgato was unable to capture it. So I'm going to be showing you guys how to switch over to basically stretch resolution. I have an Xbox One, so I'll be discussing it first on Xbox and then showing you guys how to do it on PlayStation. So for Xbox, you simply want to click the Xbox button and head over to the settings, as you guys can see I'm doing on the screen now. You then want to go to display and sound, click on video output. From here we're going to go to the advanced tab and select video fidelity and overscan. Right here on the left, it should usually be set to HDMI if you're using an HDMI cord, which I believe is the only way to play. You're now then going to switch it to DVI. After doing this is all you have to do to actually convert it over. I know some people had confusion and said that this wasn't working for them. And the reason that this doesn't work for some people is actually due to the monitor they're using. I believe majority of monitors should allow this, and you'll see basically the change in resolution. However, if your monitor does not allow this, basically the way to convert it or change it back, you simply want to follow this button sequence. You want to click A, and then use down on the D-pad or down on the left analog stick, and then click A once again. What this does is it's basically reverting it back to HDMI, and then from here it should work. There's other various ways to actually reset your graphics on your Xbox One, one of which being hold the power button for 10 seconds and then restarting it. However, I'd say about like 99% of you guys should not run into this issue, and it should automatically make the conversion over to what we consider stretch resolution. So as you guys can see in the gameplay in the background, I go into Fortnite and kind of show you guys what it will look like. Keep in mind you'll see a huge dip in quality, however that's a sacrifice you have to make for the stretch resolution. Some people are not going to like it, and that's very understandable. In fact, myself, I don't really like using this. Even when I used to play on PC, I didn't like using stretch resolution on there, so it's not really for me. However, I know a lot of people found my previous video to be very helpful and were saying how much they appreciated it and actually ended up liking this. Other groups of people couldn't get over the quality loss, which is completely understandable, as it is quite drastic. So this is how you can do it on Xbox One. If you do want to revert it, all you want to do is go back to the video output area and click on video fidelity and overscan. Switch it back to HDMI. After doing this, you then want to go to your resolution and change it to 720p or 1080p. And basically you're back now to native. So if you didn't necessarily like the resolution change, then this is how you can go back to it. Now for PlayStation 4. The way to change this was kind of confusing. A lot of people said it didn't work for them, and I think once again this is kind of pertaining to what monitor you were using, or TV rather. Some TVs or monitors might not even change it whatsoever, however most do. Now I found this from another YouTube video, and I'll try to leave the link in the description below if you'd like to check it out for the proof yourself. As for myself, I don't play on PlayStation 4, so I have not used this. However, it's pretty commonly known that this is how you do it, at least for the Fortnite community. So the way to change it on PlayStation 4, you want to click the PlayStation button and go over to settings. You want to click on sound and screen. Then you're going to go to display area settings, and you'll see that there's going to be two options. There's going to be enlarge and shrink. You would assume it'd probably be enlarged, but that is actually not the correct option. We're going to basically click on shrink and continuously do this until it doesn't allow us to do it anymore. Once you've done this, you want to apply the settings or essentially back out, and it should make the conversion over. Now again, if it doesn't do this for you, it's probably an issue with your monitor and maybe doesn't support this resolution, but majority of them should work. Now if it doesn't work for you, it's quite unfortunate, and I'll try to find a workaround or a bypass that allows you to have it. But again, majority of you guys should actually see that this does work. If you would like to change it back, you simply want to enlarge it all the way until it doesn't allow you to do it anymore, and then apply it or back out, and you'll see you're back on native. That is how you guys can get stretched resolution on Xbox One as well as PlayStation 4. I know there's settings you can use on your monitor or TV even that allows you guys to have different stretch resolutions. However, I think that's a bit more complex and complicated, and maybe if I were going to make a video about it, it'll be in the future. Now to discuss the pros and cons of this. As I mentioned in the beginning of the video, they don't really share all the same benefits as PC. PC is a completely different platform and offers way more benefits, and unfortunately for them, Epic Games decided to, out of nowhere, put a cap on the aspect ratio, meaning they can no longer use stretched resolution, at least for competitive game modes. But the benefits for PC include an increase in FOV, which is the field of view, meaning you're able to see more. It also basically gives people the placebo effect of having a wider hitboxes on their opponents, meaning it makes their opponents appear wider and just makes it easier to aim. Again, I mentioned this is more or less a placebo effect, so it's not necessarily backed up with evidence or any support behind it, but it's more or less a debate where one side says it doesn't really affect it, whereas the other side said it just makes it feel smoother and just easier to hit people, which is understandable from both perspectives, and this will actually be impacted and have an effect on console. So when playing it, you might feel like you have a wider hitbox on opponents and your accuracy could very well increase, as most people say theirs does. Another benefit for PC is actually a boost in FPS, otherwise known as frames per second. Essentially what this means is it makes the game a lot smoother. Now very unfortunately for a console, we are capped and limited to 60 FPS, as it doesn't have that much power on the consoles as you can have in say a $2,000 PC. So this unfortunately will not see a benefit on Xbox or PlayStation. Another pretty common benefit that is talked about and even debated for stretched resolution on PC is reaction time. A lot of players said that they felt like their reaction time was a lot quicker, not meaning basically turning on people, but more or less discussing button input. They said whenever they'd press a button, it'd feel like it would happen or react a lot quicker in game. And as I mentioned, this was a controversial debate that was going around in the stretch resolution community, where people would discuss native versus stretch. A lot of people said this doesn't have an effect because it's through Fortnite and not necessarily your console or PC itself. This once again could more than likely be a placebo effect, where people just feel like it actually is a lot smoother or quicker in terms of button input. I know when I use it, I truly genuinely feel like the button input is a lot faster, and I'm not sure why that is. It's again more than likely in my head, however it just naturally feels like that. And then lastly, a pretty big benefit in Pro for stretch resolution on console as well as PC is comfortability. A lot of people find it to be a lot more comfortable on their eyes and just a lot less straining, and just in general, once you get used to it, it's going to feel a lot more natural for you. So this is definitely a benefit you'll see. It might be a lot more comfortable for you and less straining on your eyes. Now the only con about this for a console is that you do actually take a dip in quality, which you will see if you use it. A lot of people seem to find this not to be a huge issue. However, some people in my previous videos had discussed that they just couldn't get over the quality loss, which is by all means understandable. So that is the benefits as well as the con for stretch resolution on PC as well as console, and discussing basically the differences between the two. If you guys enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, I would appreciate a like down below. And if you're new around here and would like to see more daily Fortnite content like this in the future, then feel free to subscribe as well as turning on those post notifications. Anyways, that is all for today's video. I really hope you guys found it helpful or enjoyable. Nonetheless, my name is Untitled Chapter. Thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow. Adios.